Hey, what's up everyone? Skulls Nightshade here. And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than our normal reaction videos. We are going to be looking at a video called Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the movie that broke me as a father. Kid you not, you're seeing it right here. This is the actual title. Sonic Movie 3 ruined my family, it burned my crops, it stole my wife, it took my dog. Sorry, I really wanted to get in the mood for this video, so I haven't watched this video yet, and normally I don't watch these types of videos because I don't like to spread negativity. You guys know me, I'm all about the good vibes. I usually don't like to give that stuff too much attention, but from what I've been seeing, this is so ridiculous that we need to watch it. So now before we actually watch it, I want to show you guys the comments. I know the comments is usually a scary place, but all right, here, I wasn't paying attention to the movie, so why are you complaining about it? True. Now I understand why Gerald called humanity a failed experiment. He was on about you. Matt Walsh. They don't have respect for their audience. Paramount delayed the first Sonic movie to change Sonic's, I think the design, because almost everyone, mostly the Sonic fans, hated the ugly ass design. Yeah, exactly. Like, bro, they literally wasted so much money. They wasted so much money by having to like get rid of the first design. The only things they didn't really have to worry about reanimating were characters that exist, like Longclaw and stuff like that, but they had to redo everything for Sonic. They already had merch and stuff planned. So yeah, I really missed the dislike button count. There's an add-on for that. There's an add-on, actually, an extension you can put on your browser. I wasn't paying attention to the movie, so you made this video for nothing, for real. So the deep theme of don't let your trauma define you and you're still responsible for your own actions went over your head. Oh no, I'm scared. Anyone calling Sonic movies a children's movie is silly. They're family movies that anyone can enjoy. Yeah, they are. They're supposed to be family movies. I think technically it is rated PG, but yeah, it's supposed to be like a family movie. Kids deserve good movies. Dude, your kids deserve a better father. Saying your kids deserve a better father is crazy. How bad is this freaking review? Oh my God. Hi, real quick, Skulls from the future here. I just watched the video. We're about to watch it in this video. But before that, I wanted to leave a comment, right? I'm going to take this straight out of the book of the KSI thick of it situation. So honestly, if this video had a different person with a different personality, different words about a different movie at a different, oh my gosh, I'm reaching here. I don't have enough things. I don't have a banger, like a different beat, different melody, different lyrics. Let's see, at a different time, differently. It could have gone hard. I gotta leave the flame emoji too. I gotta leave the flame emoji as well. Where is it? Where is it? Fire. There we go. Perfect. All right, enjoy the video.
When a man becomes a father, he's called upon to make sacrifices for his family. And often these will be
this is already
small
so
sacrifices.
melodramatic.
Sometimes they'll be larger, though, more significant. When
Maybe
a
it's
man
satire.
must become a hero, and when he must lay his very life on the line.
Oh, maybe we're talking about
And this
Sonic.
may take many forms. Perhaps he has to pull his loved one away from the path of a speeding train because they've been tied to the
I've had to
tracks
do that
by
a few
bandits
times. Yeah,
or whatever.
that happens.
Or most harrowing of all, he may be compelled by his paternal obligations to go to a movie theater and watch Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Obviously, wow, how does this man have so many subs on YouTube and he's so out of the loop? Doesn't he know it's cool to be a Sonic fan now? Come on, bro, get with the program. It's cool to be a Sonic fan now. At least I think it is. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, guys, we're getting there. I believe in us. All right, Sonic fans, make sure you leave a comment so people know we're cool. Do like a cool emoji or like do something cool. I don't know anything cool to do. I'm not that cool, realistically. I'm a Sonic fan, so.
when my 8-year-old son and 5-year-old daughter asked me to take them to go see Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And,
okay. 8 and 5.
And
right.
I did.
That's pretty young.
God help me. God help me.
Oh my
I
gosh.
did. Now,
this is already starting off so dramatic. First of all, even if like you're like, ew, Sonic fans, Sonic fans, you know, the movie is just, I don't know how you can look at this movie and say it's bad, even if you don't like Sonic, even if you hate Sonic the Hedgehog, even people I know who don't like the movies are like, all right, I'm not a big fan of the movies, but this one was really good. It's not perfect. You know, we've talked about that. If you guys watch Spin Dash Radio, I'll leave a link in the description. But if you guys watch Spin Dash Radio, when we talked about spoilers, we even mentioned like there's reasons I can't give that movie like a 9 as much as I want to. There's just certain things that were lacking. I feel like a lot of the action with Shadow the Hedgehog was kind of lacking. I'm not going to go too deep into spoilers. I don't know how much he goes into spoilers in this video, so I'm not going to quite yet. But if that bridge is broken, then eventually we'll start talking about them. I will give you guys a warning though. But yeah, like there were things that were missing, but like, how do you leave the theater and go, damn, that was such a bad movie, man? Like, I mean, to each their own, right? Opinions are subjective. I always tell you guys it's okay to have an opinion, even if it's different than mine. But this just seems, it's giving just hater for no reason. Like, but I've like seen some of his content before. I've seen it in clips, so not really a good way to judge someone. But I've seen some of his content before, and it kind of like, there's always a little bit of haterade sprinkled in there, you know? He has a nice big glass, that cup right there. You see, this cup right here is just filled with haterade. But anyway, let's keep going.
Before I offer my brief review of this thing that I hesitate to call a film, I must first acknowledge, in all fairness...
Excuse you?
I never saw Sonic the Hedgehog 1 or Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
You don't need to see 1 and 2. You don't. I've known some people who just saw 3. This is the same point I'm making. Even if you don't like the first movies, this was just objectively a good movie, right? Even if you're like, not really a fan of the movie universe, not really a fan of superhero-esque, nerdy type movies. I don't know what to call that category of movie. I can't just say action, that's pretty broad, but like adaptation movies, I guess is a good name for it. So, oh my gosh, this is, anyway, we're only 2 minutes in.
It's possible that one cannot fully appreciate the narrative complexities of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 without having seen the first 2 chapters in this epic Hedgehog saga. Maybe the other 2 movies are works of staggering artistic genius that would elevate the 3rd installment and lend it the sort of context necessary for me to have appreciated it and enjoyed it instead of feeling like I was being waterboarded with high fructose corn syrup the whole time. This
guy kind of feels like what high fructose corn syrup would be as a person. Not like appearance-wise or anything, but like personality-wise, like I'm getting that real condensed high fructose corn syrup. He's just not used to the real sugar, you know?
One is the evil villain, and the other is the evil villain's evil grandfather in old age makeup. And the 2 break into an impromptu dance routine that makes no narrative sense, but lasts approximately 87 minutes.
How do you not like the dance part? That was one of my favorite parts of the movie. All right, you know what? I give him this part. I'm going to give benefit of the doubt with the dance part. Although, like, that part was just awesome. Like, it doesn't have to make any sense narratively. Like, think of some of the stuff Eggman just randomly does, and you're like, why did he do that? Like, he's just eccentric. That's it. Him and Gerald being there is a weird dynamic. Definitely different than like the games and everything. Obviously, Gerald was not around during this era of the games, but wow, dude, I can't believe, like, the worst thing I've heard about the dance routine was they should have chosen a better song. Like, that's literally the worst thing I've heard about the dance routine. That's, wow, okay.
It's the kind of movie where those same characters before the dance routine actually look directly into the camera and explain that they're being played by the same actor.
Yeah, it's called breaking the fourth wall.
Assume safely that there is nothing in the other 2 films that would make this one any less obnoxious.
Holy crap! I hope this man does not watch Deadpool. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Because if he does not like fourth wall breaks.
Let's be clear, what's happening in this country, it's Nazism. Republicans are Nazis.
It doesn't look like it. Beloved superhero movie. Looks like he jumped on the wave back then for it, but no, that's, yeah, okay.
When a man becomes a father.
So ultimately, I can't believe homie really just like, actually, it's kind of like, at first it was kind of annoying me, but like, it's insane. Like
Camera and explain characters, but last routine.
Wait.
Actually look directly into the camera and explain that they're being played by the same actor. I must assume, and I think assume safely, that there is nothing in the other two films that would make this one any less
There's
obnoxious
not.
or
It's called
horrifically
breaking a
stupid.
fourth wall, bro.
I'm not going
What?
to bother explaining the plot of this film in any detail. I wasn't tracking it that closely, to be honest. I was mostly fighting to stay awake.
So how? Okay, no, your review's already invalid. What the heck? That's like going to McDonald's, right? You get a Happy Meal, right? You don't even eat the food. You smell the food, but instead you let the food go bad. Eat one French fry that's bad and throw the rest away, and then leave a review about how terrible McDonald's is. I use a horrible example. McDonald's is so bad for you, but you get what I'm saying. Like, how are you even gonna? I felt like I couldn't properly give a review, and my eyes were glued to the screen the entire time I watched that movie. But because I've only seen it once, I was like, I don't feel like I'm in a place where I can actually properly give it a review. Hence why we talked about it on Spin Dash Radio, is just because, you know, like it was just, oh my gosh, that's kind of wild. Like, how are you gonna even say, oh, I'm not gonna even explain the plot in detail because I wasn't paying attention to it. So how do you know you even like it? So you probably open your eyes, saw Eggman dancing, and was like, oh, what is this? Oh my God. Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't like you guys seeing like this side of me, really. I am nice and sweet and love everyone and want everyone to be happy, but I also don't tolerate BS very well. I just don't, you know. And in this cup over here, we have a BS juice, you know, so there's the Haterade right here and there's the BS juice. It's a smaller cup, so we're not getting quite as much BS, but I think he made it really strong today because it is feeling very BS-y.
This is the kind of movie that bores you to the point of putting you to sleep, but also
Bro.
annoys you at the same time.
Literally Dragon Ball Z level fight. The scene where a certain character comes in for the first time while they're in Japan on a motorcycle. And like, if anything, the movie felt rushed. And I feel like people like this, or why these types of movies feel a little rushed. Not like rushed, like made rushed, but telling the story rushed, right? They're trying to narrow this movie down to like an hour, a little over an hour. I don't remember how long the movie was. It was actually the longest in the trilogy, funny enough, and it felt really short. But this is the reason, is because people are like, oh, I'm so bored. Oh. And like, there wasn't a lot of downtime in that movie. I kind of wish they gave us more of Shadow's personality. I kind of wish they gave us more action. And like, some of that was cut off because there were necessary points to tell the movie they needed to shave time off of. This is why. So if you guys are ever like, dang, oh, why does this movie feel like they cut so much out of it? Because of people like this.
Simultaneously. As for the plot, I can only tell you that Sonic is the good hedgehog, which you may know.
Yeah, good job.
There's also an evil hedgehog voiced by Keanu Reeves, who, and I like Keanu Reeves, by the way, but like every other voice actor in this film and most voice actors in most children's films that have been made for the past 20 years,
I think we're safe.
He has no talent as a voice actor and doesn't understand how to...
What the What did you just say? All right. Okay, hold up. No, what do you mean he has no talent as a voice actor? Holy crap. there's so many people who are like, the only time people complain about his voice acting, I'm sorry, I'm like yelling. Let me drink some water. Hold on. Whew. The only time I've ever heard anyone complain about his voice acting was in the game, right? In the game, it did feel kind of like surface, you know? Is this the Earth? Like, I still thought it was good, but it was nowhere near where the movie was. And it wasn't the best. It wasn't his best in the game, but that's it. And that was like a couple of voice lines. The rest was fine. It just felt different. But in the movie, he killed it. This man went into character. I'm pretty sure this man watched like 50 Chow Mix videos and learned about Shadow the Hedgehog, because he said he was watching media and he was watching like videos and things like that to understand the character better. He channeled that character. Hell, that's a role he just plays well after all. Forget the voice acting, technically. The acting, that's a role he plays well. Look at freaking John Wick. Look at like, he plays the person who's hurting and wants revenge and is a skilled fighter, so they can enact that revenge. They'll do it solo. I mean, Shadow's like, I'll do it with a team if it's Gerald, I guess, but it's just, oh my God. That is the worst statement. I've this whole time, I know I've been like a little harsh, right? I was just being silly. I'm just like /J. I'm just being silly. But like, that is actually a bullshit statement. That is actually like such a bullshit statement. I mean, to each their own again, but like even some of my most critical friends with voice acting, which some of my friends are really critical, like they've never liked any of Sonic's voice actors. But even some of my, well, I think they might have like one or two, but even some of my like really critical friends are like, I can hear Shadow and Keanu Reeves' voice. Like I think Kirk and I think Keanu do a great job. They do it differently, but this man, like, how can you even, he was asleep. How did he even hear the voice acting? What does he even mean? Cap. I call cap.
Act with just your voice. But he's famous, so that's good enough, I suppose.
No,
So,
okay. I know I've been kind of like recommending, like plugging my own videos this whole time, right? But I have a video where we watch the behind the scenes thing where Keanu talks about how he's getting into his role. He didn't just go into the booth and just talk. He actually felt his role. So that's just like objectively wrong and kind of disrespectful towards the actor. Like, Keanu's a legend. You need to put some respect on his name.
So Sonic has to stop the evil hedgehog and his evil cohorts, that's the Jim Carrey dancing duo I mentioned earlier, from blowing up the world with a big laser. And, you know, this has been the evil plan of every evil villain in every blockbuster franchise film for the past 3 decades.
That's the plan in Sonic Adventure 2. Say you don't know the media without saying you don't know the media. And that's fine. Not everyone watched Sonic Adventure 2. Or I'm sorry, not everyone played Sonic Adventure 2. Cool. I know a lot of people just experiencing the game for the first time or who have never played. That's my whole heart and soul. Sonic Adventure 2 is my favorite game in the entire world. I love it so damn much. But like, dude, I mean, I know you saw a meme with it. Like, what? Yes, he wants to blow up the Earth with the laser, all right? Even if you've never seen the movie, you can just tell by Eggman's personality and Gerald's personality that that's something just eccentric and just insanely silly to do, that they would do it. That is so an Eggman plot. You don't even have to know the backstory of the character. You can see by his personality. It's not like he's like, he thinks he's an evil genius. And I mean, technically he is a genius, but he's so goofy and he doesn't see himself that way. So to him, my grand plan would be to blow up the Earth. You know? But also, like, Gerald's just as eccentric as him and wants revenge. And okay. All right. You remember when I said the spoiler warning? Here's the spoiler warning, right? Right. So, all right, you have a second to go. Or skip ahead like a minute or two. So basically, Gerald's plot was to blow up the Earth and himself. That was probably the best way to do it. Not just I blow up the earth and then what? You know, Eggman wants to rule the earth. Eggman wants to rule the earth, and that's why he ends up saving it in the end, or helping with save it. Gerald is mad at the world who took away everything he loves, which if you weren't asleep during the movie, sir, you probably would have known because you watched the movie. You would have known what was going on.
The older Jim Carrey's granddaughter, I think, was killed, and now he wants to commit murder-suicide because life isn't worth living.
Yeah, it's a bit deeper than that, but I guess if you didn't watch the movie and you slept through it, you probably wouldn't understand, you know? That's why they went through a whole backstory to show how important she was to Shadow and to Gerald. Why do you think they did that whole tangent? They could have been like, even the games have never done the Shadow Maria story this way. They've never gone that deep into it. They've never made you like feel that connected to Maria. You're just like, sweet girl, it means a lot to Shadow, right? We love Maria, most of us. Some people are weird and hate Maria. But like in this one, they showed you her personality. She was a full of life girl who was ill and who wanted to see the earth and wanted to live and wanted to take Shadow and give him a good life. And like, it's just like, you think that it was just like, oh yeah, that little girl died. Now he's mad. Like,
This is a movie, like so many kids' movies these days, that schizophrenically darts back and forth from being ironic to painfully self-serious to goofy to earnest and so on and so on.
Yeah,
it doesn't try to smooth over these tonal transitions with
but it's called
good writing or performances. The writing is just terrible, and the performances are atrocious across the board. Instead, it just...
Wow. That's so insulting, man. Like, that's not cool. The performances being bad is like, you could say whatever about the writing. You didn't like the plot, whatever. Cool. It was kind of for the fans, right? And again, you wonder why sometimes with movies, when they make adaptations, they don't always do it for the fans. It's because people like this usually end up yapping about how this is bad and that's bad because they don't understand the media. And you don't have to. Again, you don't have to, but if he made an okay point, it was up till there. But saying that the performances were bad, just seeing how much work and effort and energy these people put into it, right? I know some people are like, oh, it's just voice acting, but like these people really, really dive in. They become that character. They re-record it until it's right. They make sure the synergy is good together. And not only that, I mean, the actors were like involved in all of the promotions and stuff too. But anyway, even I was skeptical about Jim Carrey being Eggman during the first movie. But this is the most Eggman he could have been. This is the most Eggman he could have been. So, yep, that's why they don't do shit for the fans a whole lot, because, yeah.
Because this movie, again, like so many kids' movies these days, is not the fulfillment of anyone's creative vision. It is just the product of a corporate algorithm. It is loud.
No, okay, I thought that last take was bad. That is not true. I was worried that that's what the Sonic movies would become, and I'm so damn happy that that's not, right? They have their own storyline that's more fitting for everyone to watch, not just the fans, right? And they do stuff for the fans in the movie. Like, they had a whole SA2 quote, one of my favorite quotes in SA2 from the very beginning of the game. But it's just like, what do you mean? Like, it just...
Nobody who made the film actually cared about making a good film.
Yeah,
and they
of
have
course.
absolutely no respect for their audience. I mean...
That's why they've constantly increased how well the models look. That's why they've constantly tried to include fan content that will make people who are current fans happy. That's why they upped the action to an insane level, because that fight scene with Sonic and Shadow, sheesh, I just wish it was longer, man. I wish we could have seen that part at the end. Like, I wish we could have seen them live and learn, you know, at the end. But, you know, and the reason that it may feel like it's cut short or anything's not done with love and entirely is because they have to cope for people like this.
This movie could have been made by AI. We are at a point.
Okay, it's not that bad.
If they start making movies with AI, we would not know the difference. You might respond that, well, this movie isn't for me. It's for kids. Well, first of all,
not even just that.
Tell that to the other people in the theater with us. I can tell you that my kids were by far the youngest people in attendance. There were multiple groups of adults.
Bro, how are you going to say the themes are too dark for kids and then there's too many adults watching? What the? Dude, no way. There's no way you're serious. Like, this has to be satire. I'm being pranked. That's it. Like, how are you going to say that? Yeah, I agree. Maybe the rating should have been like PG-13, but I think that they wanted to keep the rating similar to, like, I don't know. I was going to say the games because they're rated E and like E10, but yeah, he took a 3 and a 5-year-old. It was too dark for them, but it's not made for adults, but there's adults watching. So he seems like he's upset that it's not made for adults, but just complained about it being too adult. I'm so confused. I'm lost. I'm lost, man.
Just adults, no kids. Whole groups of them who bought tickets
Yes, we
to
did.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yes, we did.
Also, tell it to the multiple grown adults who got angry at me on Twitter for not liking the movie. The funny thing is that a lot of those same people...
It's not because you don't like it. There's plenty of people who don't like it and express that. They don't get roasted for not liking it. You get roasted for takes like this. Oh my God.
So I agree that these kinds of movies are for kids, but I am not the one who needs to be told that, okay? Second, and this...
So again, I agree with the rate. Excuse me. I agree with the rating needing to be higher from the first point that he made before he just contradicted himself, but needing to be higher for the dark themes, right? That does seem a little inappropriate, right? Like, I wouldn't mind if my kid watched that because I grew up watching stuff like that, but I get it. That definitely should have been PG-13, right? However, I think they were worried about turning people away from the theater. That's on them with that. But then to say, okay, well, people get mad at my takes because they say the movie's not for me, it's for kids. But there's adults in the theater. So you're trying to prove that it's supposed to be made for adults, but it's too adult for... Moment of silence for my brain. It just died.
This is most important because, as it turns out, children's movies are not just for children. They're for parents too.
Wow, really? Really, sir?
Okay, if a kid's movie or kid's show is so grating and so dumb and so unpleasant that parents can't stand to be in the same room while it's on, that doesn't mean it's for kids. It isn't for kids. It isn't for anyone. It's just bad.
It's just not for every... Yeah, it's
and
for no one. No one likes that movie.
Well, of course it's bad. It's for kids.
No one said that.
Everything you need to know.
Anyone who says that, that's not a very good point. And anyone who actually watches and enjoys Sonic content would say that it's not just for kids. Like, they did things for the fan. You think the talk about a low budget flight scene meant anything to most of those children in the theater? You think that was for them? Like, hello? It's just, I don't know. Like, and that's not allowed. Like, a movie shouldn't be bad because it's just for kids. Like, that's not, anyone saying that, that's not okay either. Because, like, kids movies can be enjoyable. Most of them nowadays are pretty dumb, but
I think content produced for kids should especially be high quality and should especially have artistic merit, which is why I hated Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and why it is today, I must say, sadly, canceled.
All right, so realistically, all I have to say about this is it's not bad just because it doesn't agree with me, right? I always try to make it clear that that's not how I think. I like thinking from other perspectives. I love, like, seeing other people's viewpoints on things, especially if they're things that I like. Like, if you don't like it, I want to know why. But this was just bad takes. Like, they were just really, really bad takes. I don't know what inspired him to make this video, to be honest. It doesn't feel like it was a well thought out review because he contradicted himself like twice. And it kind of seemed like it was like more of a place of emotion. Like, I don't know who hurt him before he went into the theater, but I hope he's feeling better now because he seems a little upset. And it's just like, you said you weren't even paying attention to the movie. Why would you review something like that? I really feel like this was just a bad attempt at riding the wave. And I know, like, making this video isn't really helping, right? Like, I'm showing more people this video. But any of you guys who like my content and who watch my content for Sonic stuff probably aren't gonna like go out of your way to watch this. Who wants to see their favorite movie get shit on, or a movie that they really enjoy, or whatever? And again, not everyone enjoys those movies. There are reasons people have to dislike them that I can see. But this different, it wasn't it. You didn't watch the first two, which is fine, you know, whatever. I know a lot of people who didn't, or watched them right before the movie came out. You said you were struggling to stay awake, right? You barely paid attention to the story. You couldn't even explain the story because you barely paid attention. And like, I feel like if he were to judge plot points, he missed a lot, which just kind of proves that maybe he was telling the truth. He wasn't paying attention. So why leave this review as, oh, the movie that broke me as a father? Like that's so extra. Oh my God, I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this video because I saw it kind of buzzing around online. I guess Sonic Movie 3 is canceled, so don't expect to see 4. I know they said 4 was confirmed. We can't have it anymore. The movie's made for no one, and we didn't realize that. You know, that's why it's done over 300 million box office. Probably way more than that. I checked that like 2 days ago. It's just, I don't know. That's a silly take. Most people really enjoy this movie. It's been getting insanely good ratings, which means someone's enjoying it. So to say it's made for no one, like it's not Morbius, bro. Like that's a movie made for no one, right? It's not like that where it's not like I feel like he just explained Morbius. Maybe he watched the wrong movie. I don't know, dude. Maybe he watched the wrong movie and hallucinated about hedgehogs. I don't know. But let me know what you think in the comments. Guys, just remember not to be like toxic or anything in the comments. We could talk about it, but we don't have to be like mean. People usually get a little mean about things like this. And yeah, like no hate towards this guy. That was just bad take after bad take. And I think he truly misunderstood why people were upset at him and pick and chose to choose the people with other bad takes like, oh, this movie can be bad because it's for kids. No, that's also a bad take. Two things can exist, right? But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you later. Look cute and stay cool. Bye.